A very good morning, Ayanda. Thank you so much. It is the 8th edition and it is the biggest show on the continent. This morning, later this morning, the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, Ms. Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, will be officially opening the event. We are spoilt for choice in terms of the latest technology that we can broadcast from, but we chose our first one as the Parabot, which our cameraman will zoom into just now and show you. It's a 10-meter structure. If you are a Transformers follower, you will absolutely love this one because it is a military vehicle that has been transformed into a Parabot. And we're joined now by Eric Ichikovitz from Paramount Group to tell us all about it. We're at a defense and military show and you're bringing through a robot for conservation. What is it all about?
Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us at AAD this morning. Parabot was built by the Paramount Group in order to signify our move into the robotics and the unmanned fields of the defense industry, and also to signify the role that the defense industry has to play in conservation in this country.
But what is the connection?
So the defense industry has got a lot of relevant technologies and platforms that we can lend to conservation officers who are fighting low-intensity incursions across our national parks. And we as Paramount have always believed that we have an obligation as good citizens to actually contribute to the fight against poaching activities.
Okay, now back to AAD. This morning around 9:30 to 10, you're flying the advanced reconnaissance flight, which is supposed to be your very latest technology. How does one distinguish between very latest and outdated technology in this space?
So that's right. At 9 o'clock this morning, we'll be flying RLAC, which is a clean sheet South African developed reconnaissance aircraft, into the actual show. It'll be the first air show that RLAC has actually flown into, and we'll be showcasing the innovation and the design technologies that actually exist within South Africa that enable us to compete on a global platform.
Now, you have invested millions of money into your robotics division. You touched a bit on it in the beginning of the interview. Tell us what that is all about and how something like that can benefit the masses of unemployed South Africans out there.
Well, we as Paramount believe that the next generation of defense and security equipment will move towards unmanned solutions. So we've basically harnessed all of the technologies that exist across our land, air and sea platforms, and we've created a specific business unit to focus on developing unmanned solutions in all of these areas, with the view of taking the human risk out of dangerous situations. In order to do that, we've always believed that South Africa has got great intellectual capital to lend to the defense industry. But we have to be cognizant of the need to bring through the next generation of engineers and mechanical engineers. And as a result, we'll be making a big announcement later this week in conjunction with the Department of Military Veterans around a partnership aimed at generating the next generation of South Africans that this industry sorely needs.
Now, we're having this broadcast at a time that a report has just come out from Stats SA about the lack of skills, and you say there's a lot of intellectual capital in the country, but it decries the lack of skills, especially within black youth. What is your company doing to make sure your area of operation is a highly technical area? What are you doing to develop skills?
So you must remember that Paramount is a global company that uses South African skills and technology and presents them on a global platform. In order to do that, we need to ensure that we're constantly moving that intellectual capital forward. And to enable us to do that, we have to look at the next generation of engineers and specialists who will drive the industry forward. So we'll be creating a partnership arrangement with the Department of Military Veterans aimed at identifying young, previously disadvantaged individuals and bringing them into the actual industry.
Tell us about your involvement here quickly.
So we'll be showcasing a number of new technologies across all of our different platforms. We have some new vehicle announcements to make based on our Mbombe. As you rightfully referred to, Parabot. Parabot is derived from our world-famous Mbombe vehicle, and there's a new generation in additions to that family. We'll also be showcasing some of our naval platforms. We've recently acquired some new naval businesses, and we'll be expanding on that process. And then we'll also be showcasing a whole new range of UAVs later on in the week.
Mr. Ichikovis, thank you so much for talking to us.
And thank you very much for
Mr.
having me.
Ichikovis is from the Paramount Group, and he's only one of the people we'll be talking to here at the Africa Aerospace Defence Show 2014. Let's go back to Johannesburg now, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you so much, Desiree. You asked the question in your opening, how many people love the Transformers. I tell you, my nephews are huge Transformers fans, so make sure you take lots and lots of pictures of that gigantic robot that's being used.